Good morning, everyone, or evening, or whatever time zone. Good time zone. Yeah. Good time zone. Hello. Congratulations, Jade, on getting the first redeem. Congrats. Super fast, as always. And I also see Tonito. Hello. And Creative. Hello. I hope you guys are doing good. Oh, Creative, recovering from the flu. Oh, no. I hope you feel better soon. Hello, Tonito. Yes, I am doing a morning stream. I haven't done one of those in a while, or at least morning to me, because my schedule for today is different than usual. Usually I would be going to work in about an hour, but my shift is scheduled for 2 hours after it normally starts. So I was like, oh, what should I do? I have all this time because I got up at the normal time that I usually get. Well, actually, I got up early because this morning, before stream, I finished my taxes. Yay, America, not just telling us what we owe or anything like that. But I finished my taxes, so I got up before my alarm. I told myself I was going to get up with the sun, and the sun was in my face, and I was like, I could just sleep until my alarm. And then my brain was like, no, just do your taxes. That way you can just be done with it and not have to worry because the deadline's in 5 days. I did the same thing last year. Actually, last year, I did it 2 days before the deadline because I'm just a silly little guy. I'm just a silly little guy who almost forgets about their taxes every year, but doesn't, just barely. So I did my taxes, and it was the estimated refund is just a little over $1,000, which is very, very nice. I'm gonna stick that straight into my savings because my savings is non-existent. Because it's not normal income, so it becomes emergency income. I felt like that was the smart thing to do because there's a couple of different ways that it was letting me get my tax refund. It was like direct deposit or like get a check, and I was like, I'll do direct deposit. That way I don't have to worry about cashing a check because the bank that I like to use isn't close, and I don't want to have to do like a check cashing fee because like I know some places will like cash checks, but I want the whole thing, so I'm doing a direct deposit into my savings account. Not gonna touch it unless I have an emergency. Hopefully I don't. It's a lot, is it? It's less than what I got the previous years. The previous years it was around $1,500. This one is a little bit less. I think it was because I didn't work. There were some parts where I worked a little bit less of the year, where I wasn't working for like the first 2 months of last year or something like that. So it was a little bit less than what I got before. But this time I actually have bills and stuff, so anything helps. Because my poor savings when I moved, I was so glad that I had savings when I moved, but it went to like $50. I had a decent amount in my savings, and I spent all of it on moving. So you really got 200 from yours? Wow. That sucks. That's not much at all. That's crazy because I lived in 2 states this year. For those of you who knew I moved. Now I live in Redacted. But just my one state refund said it was going to be like 170. And then the other one said it was going to be 130. Which is crazy because I thought they would be further apart considering I lived in one for 8 months. The other one, it was, well, like 4 months. Well, it was closer to like 3 because it was like at the end of the month, but whatever. Whatevers. But I did my taxes this morning. Then I was like, I can't remember what day I'm starting late. Because I was like, oh, my schedule's a little bit different this week. I wasn't gonna fight it. I worked 7 days in a row starting yesterday, and so I just wasn't gonna fight it. I wasn't gonna ask anyone for more hours. I was just gonna use pay time off because I knew I was gonna need the extra time to myself. 7 days in a row. It was just because of how my days off are with the wedding, because I took Sunday, Monday off, the 7th and the 8th, and my normal days off are Wednesday, Thursday, so technically it would be today, but I'm working today. But I'm not off until next Wednesday. So I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 7 days. Um, so I'm taking the extra time, not gonna fight it, just gonna use some PTO to help my paycheck because we're allowed to do that if we want, which is nice. I mean, I wish I didn't have to do it, but like I got the PTO accrued, so I might as well use it. That way I don't have to worry, you know. But yeah, I finished my taxes and then I was like, oh, today's the day I start later because I was like, oh, I better check that way I don't accidentally show up to work an hour or two early. And I'm glad I did. And I was like, wow, I'll stream. I couldn't figure out what game I wanted to stream this morning though. And as I was sitting here going through my Steam library 3 times, I was like, well, I don't really feel like playing any of these games. So you know what I'll do? I'll just chat because I'm wasting streaming time. I was like, I just gotta stream. I just gotta press that button and get started and I can just chat. So here I am, just chatting with you lovely folks. Hopefully the rest of you had an easy time with taxes. Mine was a little bit confusing this year because I moved states, but you know what? I figured it out. And it's all good. Everything is hunky-dory, I think, hopefully. We'll find out. Good jigsaw water. Delicious. Very proud. Yes, I'm an adult. I do my taxes. Oh, what taxes? But yeah, that's what I did this morning. It felt like I did a lot, even though I feel like I didn't, because there's a lot to it, but I was productive and got up with the sun, which is more than I usually do. Usually I just wait until my alarm. The sun will wake me up and then I'll roll over and I'll be like, no, not yet. I have a hard time getting up in the morning if I don't necessarily need to get up right at that time. So like I can get up immediately with my first alarm if there's something I have to do. But that's why I label my alarms. So like there are days where I'm like, oh, you have appointment today. And I'm like, oh, time to get up. So I'll get out of bed immediately. But if it's just like the weekend alarm, it's like, oh, you should get up. It's 10 a.m. I'll be like, no, I'll go back to sleep. And then I'll have reset my alarm to like 12 or something. And then it'll be 12 and I'll be like, but I don't need to get up. And then I'll be like, no. And then I'll go back to sleep. And then it'll be 2 and I'll be like, oh, fuck, it's the afternoon. And so I actually get up. But the bed is just so comfy sometimes. But I did the thing. I got up with the sun today, even though I really didn't want to. And I could have slept in, but I was an adult and I got up and I did adult things like taxes. Actually, we're just going to ignore the laundry that I have in the dryer for now. I've adulted enough for this morning. I put the laundry in there last night. I was like, I'll do them in the morning. And then in the morning, I'm not doing them. Oh, goodness. Oh. Yesterday, I thought was going to feel like a long day at work. Because even though I had the 7th and 8th off, I also called out on the 6th because, you know, I had people over. There were people over for the wedding and I wanted to hang out with people. So I called out and I hang out with the peoples. And so I had 3 days off in a row. It was actually really weird because I have Wednesday, Thursdays off. So I had Wednesday, Thursday off. I worked Friday, but then I went to a karaoke thing in the evening, and then I was off Saturday, Sunday, Monday because I called out Saturday. And so it was almost like I had 5 days off in a row because it wasn't like a tough day on Friday. So that was nice. And so I thought yesterday was going to be painful, but it actually went by really fast. And I hope all my work days go by. It didn't go by super fast, but it definitely went by at a steady pace. Because I remember thinking, oh, it's already been a half an hour. And then at one point, someone was like, oh, it's time for your break, Sylvia. And I'm like, it is? And I look at the time, I was like, it is. And then I waddled off to my break. There was one point, though, when I was a little bit tired. It was after my lunch. And I was like, man, I can't wait for my lunch break. And it took me like 3 seconds for my brain to realize, Sylvia, you already had your lunch break. And I was like, oh, okay. Let's see, we had 7,000. Wow. Still sealed? Wait, what does that mean? Did people like give back their tax refund? I don't know what that means. I'm just a silly little guy. Just a silly little guy who shouldn't have been allowed to do taxes by herself, actually. I always get nervous when I do my taxes because I'm like, oh, am I doing this right? I maybe should have called my dad, but he's in a different time zone. And I think he's like 4 or 5 hours behind me. So it would have been like 4 a.m. for him. But hopefully I did it right. I don't know. We'll find out if your deer gets arrested for tax evasion. Hopefully not. I mean, I'm almost certain I did it right because I did the free tax thing, but I also fake did it on TurboTax. So what I like to do is I like to fill it out technically twice. So I fill it out on the free one that I'm going to file it on. And then I fill it out on TurboTax simultaneously. But I don't submit it on TurboTax. I just make sure that the numbers are correct. And so the numbers matched. So I'm assuming I did it right. Tony Toke sweating. Going to have to visit the deer in jail. Free housing, free food, ayo. Oh, wait, I won't be able to stream in jail. Well, let's hope I did it right. Listening to me right now. Taking notes about... Yeah, pro tip, guys. If you live in America and you don't like TurboTax because it sucks, you should file on one of the free websites. There's I can't even remember what I filed. But anyway, I can't remember if it was state-specific, so I don't want to say it. But, find your free website because there is free websites. There is like government ones. It is a thing that they have to do and file on that. So, but before you submit it, fill it out on TurboTax. Don't submit it on TurboTax because they'll take your money. But fill it out on TurboTax, compare the numbers, and then if they look right or they're like close enough by like $1 or something, you should be good. Then submit it on the free one and just delete everything off of TurboTax, and you're good. Yeah. The text letter or the letters with the forms to fill them out and... Oh. We can just send them back? Huh. Interesting. I think I opted out of the physical mail thing because I didn't get one unless I went to my old address. They'll see with my taxes this year that I have a new address. Honestly, that would give me too much anxiety. I have too much anxiety to not do my taxes. I will, however, not use paid taxes things. Yesterday was a pretty good work day. Nothing like crazy or anything happened. We got like a replacement printer for one of the registers, so that was nice. There was one guy who tried to be a Karen on me, but luckily it didn't happen. He apparently, according to him, I didn't actually look at the receipt once I did eventually get it, but this is what happened. He comes in from outside because that's where the return center is, right next to the door, which is very smart, so we can see if someone like walked into the store, went and grabbed something and then tried to return it. We can just see them walk into the store with the item. So that's You're not allowed to send them back. People literally wrote return to sender. Oh my god, that's crazy. He walks in and he wants to return a thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, do you have your receipt? He's like, no, I left it in the car. I just bought it like 5 minutes ago. I'm like, okay, well, we can return certain things without the receipt. So I go to process it as a no receipt return, and it says, oh, sorry, this item is only available for exchange without the receipt. And so that's what my computer says. So I turn to this man and I'm like, unfortunately, without the receipt, this is a return. I can't return it. It is an exchange only item. That is what I said. I said, without the receipt, I can't return it, and it is an exchange only item. So based on what I said, what do you need? To bring me the receipt. And this is his response. I don't know what you want from me. Do you want my ID, the receipt? Seriously, this is ridiculous. I bought this just 5 minutes ago. And I'm standing there and I'm like, customer service mode, customer service mode. And so I say, as I said, sir, aka as per my last email, as I said, sir, I need the receipt to process the return since it's prompting as an exchange only item. And so he grabs the box and he's like, well, you better hope I can find the receipt in my car. And he leaves and I'm like, Jesus Christ, sir. It is not my fault if you misplace your receipt within the last 5 minutes. And so what I do, like a normal person, is I radio my manager and I'm like, hey, I might have a situation here in 2 minutes. And I say that we had an angry guy tried to return something without a receipt. And he said, I better have my manager if he can't find the receipt. So just an FYI in case I need you. And they're like, okay, let me know. Because I wasn't going to deal with that stuff, and I needed the manager to be ready and on the way, because there's nothing worse than standing there with a quote-unquote caring customer as you wait for your manager to walk over and tell them the exact same shit that you did. So I wanted to be ready. I wanted to be ready and not have to deal. And he comes back in. Luckily, he has his receipt. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. And so I process the return. And I'm like, bye. And he's like, I'm like, sir, if you had just brought your receipt in the first place, this wouldn't have been an issue. If he knew he was returning the item, he had just bought it, he should have just brought the receipt with him in the first place. And the reason why he said he was returning is because his wife said it was the wrong thing and she was waiting in the car. It was the wrong type of thing. This idiot got breakfast corn dogs where it's like a pancake and breakfast sausage instead of normal corn dogs because he's just incompetent. But anyway, luckily nothing happened, but I was all ready and I was professional the whole time. And some days I wish I could throw hands with customers, but it's fine. It's fine. The rest of the day went on uneventfully, luckily. So that was nice. I did my normal job of helping people who were actually nice to me because they understand that I'm there to help and not to cause issues. I still have no idea. I have no idea why he said, what do you need, my ID or my receipt? I don't know why I would need your ID to process a return. Like, I feel like he just wanted to fight, but whatever. People are weird. I just need drink water. You say the same thing with your kids. You need a ticket for one free fight. I don't know. I feel like with children, it's a little bit different because you're physically bigger than them. But some days I'm just like, oh. Some days I wish they would do something in order for me to be able to legally defend myself. Because I'm like, I'm not the one. But they only yell. They only yell, and I just have to stay nice. And I'm just like, oh, honey, if only you knew. If only you knew what I was hiding inside of me. But, they don't get to see Dark Sylvia because I work in customer service. These hands are rated E for everyone. These hands are rated E for equal opportunity. That's what they're rated for. I will say one thing I really like about my glasses, random, is that I can manipulate my eyes bigger because the frames are round, and so they go around my eyes better rather than my rectangle glasses, my old ones. And so I can actually do like squints better. It's still a little bit hard because it's not a great camera for my face tracking, but if I can focus. It's hard, but it's better than what it was before. So see? Yay. Ta-da. But yeah, equal opportunity hands. I've never actually been in a fight with anyone before, so like a physical fight. So I don't actually know how it would go. I'm fairly, I would say petite, I would guess, because I'm average height. I'm 5'4". Some people would call me small, and they would be wrong because 5'4" is the national American average height for women. So I am exactly average. Exactly average. And everyone else that is taller than me is tall, and everyone else smaller than me is short, and I am exactly average. Exactly. But I'm a petite little lady. But I don't know. I feel like I could hold my own in a fight. I'm not above scratching, biting, all of the above. If I'm gonna get in a fight with someone, I'm gonna pull all the stops out. But never been in a fight with someone, so all the I feel like if I don't even know if that would happen. I don't like conflict, and so I will always try to resolve it with words first. But if you fuck with me, I will share that energy right back. So it was actually a little bit like, if you actually listened to me when I said, "Sir, as I said, I need the receipt to process a return or it's exchange only." I was just like, you weren't even listening to me. This is what I said. And I said it just like that, as I said, to show him that, like, I already told you what I need. Just go get it. Yeah, exactly. You should, there's a couple of spots that I know where to go for. My go-to would be the throat or the nose, because if you get the nose right up them, you hit it just right, they are fucked. You can barely see my nose. Look, there's my nose. Teehee. You can't really see it when I'm facing forward, but I do have a nose. I do have a nose. Look at my little nose. It's so tiny. Tiny little nose. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. My nose is so cute. It's just a little guy. You can barely see it. He's just a little guy. Adorable. Man, I'm really glad that I got this stream today. I'm gonna see, because usually I got up early today, so usually I would just be like eating around this time. So I'm gonna see if I can get up earlier, like how I did today with the sun, and see if I can stream in the mornings. They won't be, if I'm able to do this, it won't be long streams, because I do have a hard time with getting out of bed. I don't know if it's the ADHD, the autism, or side effect of having depression in the past, but if I don't actively have something to do in the morning, it's hard to get out of bed sometimes. But you know, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it with the mindset like, hey, I'm gonna stream, and I'm gonna try to get up early, and then maybe we might be able to get like an hour morning streams from now on, because I would love that. I want to stream more often. I want to get back into it more often. That would be great. I wanna talk with you guys more, even if we're just doing like a little thing every now and then. Who knows? Make streaming the morning activity, consistent deer streams. Yeah, I want to get back into consistent streams. I think I'm just need to be okay with the streams being short, because like the advice for streaming is to stream for at least 2 to 4 hours. But I miss streaming so much. I think I'm just gonna have to be okay if I have to have just a 1 hour stream some days. And I'm just like, well, I feel like a 1 hour stream is better than no stream. So that's where I'm gonna go with it. Good drinks of water. That's better. Yeah, I think 1 hour stream is better than no stream. And I think the advice for 2 to 4 hours, where it's like, if you're gonna stream, you should do it for this long. But I think it's if you're gonna stream, you should do it for this long if you can. And since I don't think I'll be able to do it, I definitely won't be able to do it for 4 hours at a time, because I still have to get up, get ready for the day and all that. Bum, bum, bum. But I like streaming. It'll be nice. And I used to stream before work too, when I was part-time. So who knows? Maybe it'll make work seem better. Because there would be days when I got off work, it was like, oh, I want to stream. And then I would get home and I was just like, ugh, people. And then I just had no energy to talk or anything. So I think streaming before work is the way I need to do it. Just for how the dopamine hits. If that makes any sense. Wow. I don't really know what to talk about. I know I'm doing a just chatting stream, but I already talked about what I did today. I didn't do much today. Yesterday was kind of a boring day. I'm trying to think of anything else that happened yesterday. I guess I could talk about the wedding. Yeah. So wedding stuff was a lot of fun. I got to drive a lot. I do like driving. However, gas is expensive. That is a thing. And the reception and where a lot of people were saying were like half an hour away. So in the first day of when I was picking people up from the airport, I had filled my tank up the night before because I wanted to make sure it was all good. And by the end of that day, I was at half, and I was like, oh my God, that's $30. It was crazy. And then the next day after that, I also went through a half tank because I refilled it again, obviously, and then half a tank, and then the day after as well with the wedding and all that. But I was just like, that's so much gas. But I had a lot of fun. Let's see. So I picked up people on Thursday. Which was fun. We did a lot of fun things. I don't know if I should go in order or just by what's off the top of my head. I met Tony Toll. For those of you who don't know, Tony Toll and Deer met in person. JT was at the wedding. So was Deltra and Andy. Well, obviously Blue and Gihan. Artist was there. It's a couple of people from work. But I think that was all like the streaming. Wait. I said JT. I said Deltra. I said Tony Toll. Andy. Jack wasn't able to go. Nep wasn't able to go, unfortunately. We had a Gihan cry counter. He cried like 8 times. She was blue. Stunning. Oh my gosh. She was so pretty. Oh my gosh. Like, I had seen pictures of the dress, but seeing her in person and the dress with the makeup and the hair, and it was just so pretty. She was so pretty. She was like a little princess. Oh my god. And she's as she's walking down the aisle, I was like, look over at Gihan. And he's like trying not to cry, and I'm just like, yes, look back at Blue because she's so pretty. And I kept wanting to look at Gihan because I'm just like, if your husband don't cry during your wedding, I don't want it. Green flags for him to cry at the wedding. And then like as they were like doing vows and stuff, you would see like Blue like wipe away a tear from his face. It was like while like the pastor cried, and I think it was during when Gihan was saying his vows at one point too. And I was just like, my heart was so full. It was so pretty. They were amazing. I love them so much. Oh, it was great. The reception was a lot of fun too. The reception, let's see, the speeches were funny. We had scuff. There was scuff at Blue's wedding. The microphone at the beginning was having issues. They fixed it. But I mean, it's not a blue wedding without scuff. Am I right? They did fix the microphone though, thankfully. That was funny though, because I think it was Delta who mentioned it, and I was like, oh, it does fit. It does really fit really well, doesn't it? Planned scuff? I don't think it was planned because they were trying to do it in the middle of the speeches of like the maid of honor and the best man. They fixed it in the middle of the best man speech. They were able to figure out what the issue was, but I don't know. It suited her, and Blue's family is tall. Like Blue, we all know Blue used to model and she's taller, but I always thought like, oh yeah, she's a normal tall height. She's a normal height for tall people. But then I met her dad and her brother, and I'm like, oh, hello, you're very tall. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Blue is the short one of them. And I'm just like, wow, her family, very tall. Very, very tall. Her family's great. I love Blue. Oh my god. They did great. Everyone here knows how much, based on how much I talk about them, that I love them. They're amazing. They're amazing. They're. I had a lot of fun with doing stuff with friends. We went out to eat a couple of times. That was a lot of fun. I got a new Squishmallow because I have, it was only $9. It was only $9 and I got a new Squishmallow. And then I went to a couple of museums. That was so much fun. I had a really great time. It was amazing. And I can't wait until I can get together with peoples again because they live so far away. And they should just move here. They should just move here so we can hang out all the time. And they know, the people who came, they know who I'm talking to. They know who I'm talking to. You should just move here. Just move here. Okay? We should just have all of our friends live in Redacted. That way we can go to karaoke all the time. You should just move here. The karaoke's so much fun. I'm gonna drink some water. Also, it's actually fairly cheap to live in Redacted. I won't give any numbers. Don't want you guys to look it up, but I won't give a specific number. But you can get a 2-bedroom apartment for $1,000 or less. So, teehee. Now that's a ball range. I know there are some places nearby where it's above 1,000, but I found a cheap one. Whee! What is this song? I want something more upbeat. This one's too slow. There we go. I need to put together a playlist. I think that's what I'm gonna do tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm gonna put together a Spotify playlist for streaming. And I think I'll make a couple of different ones. I'll have like an upbeat one, and then I'll have like a low-key, just chill one, depending on what because I feel like I would need both. I feel like I would need an upbeat, like da-da-da-da-da-da one, and then a calm one. Oh, it's a hair pets. Thank you for the hair pets. Thank you. I actually made sure the head pats were in the right spot because we did a little bit of PNG last stream. Wait, was that? No, it wasn't yesterday. It was the day before. Monday. And we were PNG last stream, and so I had to move the head pats, but I moved them back into the correct spot, and so we're all good. Drink more water. 22 has to go. All right, you have a fantastic day. I hope your day is good, very good. I know you get busy. Wait, I gotta shift in my chair. Yeah, I'm gonna put together a Spotify playlist for streaming because what I'm listening to right now is just like a YouTube compilation that's like 2 hours long or something of just anime openings. Actually, this one's 7 hours long. Okay, that's pretty neat. This one's 7 hours long, but I don't actually know all the anime openings, and like it's hard to skip just one song or something because you'd have to actually click in the thing. But I think I'm gonna put together a playlist. I think that's what I'll do because I don't want to do a YouTube playlist because then it might have to buffer, and sometimes with the ad blocker that I have and still works on YouTube, it'll like break the page and I'll have to refresh it. Dark is not enabled on... Oh, yeah, she's not enabled. Hang on. Did I turn back on? Okay, I did turn on ear wiggles. But I forgot to turn dark back on. Thank you. Yes, I turned dark off when we were PNG. Did I turn everything else back on? Because I remember that I was like, oh, I need to turn ear wiggles back on. And so I only turned that one back on. Okay, everything else is on. I mean, Feed the Deer is still off, but that's because I'm broke. Teehee. Hi, Void Dragon! I feel like I should... I don't know how often I would do PNG because, I mean, my computer's not the greatest, but she is pretty great, and the computer still does a lot of what I want. But maybe I should just start streaming with PNGs if I want to... There are certain games I want to play, but I know I cannot have my model work and stream the game and not have one or both lag. It has been a while. I want to get... What is this song? I don't want this song. I actually got to start at the beginning because these are like... I don't know. These songs are not what I'm used to. There we go. This one's from No Game No Life. I've butted a few butt calculations for the combo I want to redeem. I butt around. Sorry. I've made a few calculations for the combo I want to redeem. Oh, actually, I need to do a thing. That reminds me of a thing I need to write. A thing I need to edit. Hang on. You reminded me of a thing I need to edit. There we go. I fixed it. Added a note to stuff. Not me being a streamer and doing stuff when I think of it. That's the ADHD. Oh, Robo, hello. Awesome person. Ah, you're awesome. You're awesome. Good morning. Yeah, play what I want to play. For the model, yeah. I want to play Detroit Become Human. I've never played it. I own the game. It's sitting in my library, sitting at 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. Never been opened. But I know either the game or my model would lag. But if I use a PNG, maybe I could stream it. And I think that would be fun because I've always wanted to play that. But I want to focus on some of the games I haven't finished yet, because I actually was going through my YouTube channel. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about some games. I just straight up forgot that they existed. And that's just the ADHD thing. If you don't, out of sight, out of mind, quite literally, it applies to people. It's not that we don't care. It's not that we've forgotten. It's just that if we aren't thinking about you, we won't. So if you have a person with ADHD in your life, please make sure you stay in regular contact with them, or they will inadvertently forget you exist. If we don't see it, it doesn't exist. It's not that we don't care, it's just that we have object permanence issues, and this applies to people. And it sounds terrible, but we do try, I promise you. We do our best. And so that's why some things I'll just be laying in bed and I'll just like, boom. Oh, I forgot that person existed. And I'll be like, I should contact them. But if I don't contact them right then and there, I will forget in the morning and it will be another week or two before I remember. You don't have a choice whether you live with an additional person? Do you mean ADHD? Oh yeah, ADHD person. Yeah, if you live with an ADHD person, that's a whole nother thing. There's a couple of weird things that I do as a person with ADHD in order to function as a full adult. Your sister? Yeah. I have a pair of shoes. Now these are sneakers, but these are shoes I only wear inside the house. Inside the house, Sylvia, isn't that despite the point? I always take my shoes off when I come inside from the door. But these shoes are only for inside, so they don't have the outside dirt and grime. And these shoes are so I put the shoes on to trick my brain into being productive so I can clean my apartment. You decided to stick to one, no more than 2 games at a time. Yeah, grindy, unfun moments. Yeah, I feel like ADHD, it's gonna be a little bit hard for me to try to focus and finish the game series that I've already started, but I'm gonna try to be more conscious about it to where I try to make sure I don't forget about the games that I've started. Because I totally forgot about the SpongeBob game that I did during my subathon. And so I would like to finish those because I did have fun playing those games. I just didn't feel like I had time for it today. But some games take a lot of time, and so I do need to finish some games. And I'm very happy about the series that I have finished because like we finished I think Cult of the Lamb, and we finished normal Hollow Knight. We finished Steel Soul Hollow Knight, although I also started a pure Steel Soul Hollow Knight, which means if I die at all, I'm dead, and no save quitting, and I forgot about that. Hello, matey. Hello. Being autistic. Imagine having autism and ADHD. That's a hell of a combo. Because having autism and ADHD, which I view is a combo. I remember there was one time I was asking for my mom to take me to like Walmart or Target or something because I wanted to get some organizers for my bathroom. And I explained what I wanted. I wanted a couple of containers for the drawer. I wanted them to be individual, movable, so I could arrange them how I wanted. And I wanted one thing that could potentially spin for my counter. And I wanted to go and pick them out and do the thing. And then there was one day I got home from something. I can't remember if it was school or something. And I was going to go upstairs. And my mom's like, oh, by the way, I got you those things and I organized your bathroom for you. And I'm like, huh? And so I drop my stuff off in my room, go to the bathroom, and I'm looking at it, and it's all wrong. She didn't, like, it was organized, but nothing was where I would have put it. Nothing was where I wanted to be. And I had a complete meltdown because, first of all, she touched my stuff and she reorganized it for me, and I had a complete meltdown. She's like, why are you doing this? I did the thing that you wanted for me to do. Why are you being so ungrateful? This was before we knew I was autistic, by the way. I had a complete meltdown. I had to take everything out of I had to take everything out of the drawers, everything out of the organizers, and I had to like lay it all out, and then I had to reorganize it all myself because I just had a complete meltdown. I was like, if you have an autistic person in your life, do not reorganize for them. Now, granted, she didn't know I was autistic at the time. However, I had stated it multiple times to my family members, I don't like it when people touch my things. And she had touched my things. Now, I didn't know it was because I was autistic that I don't like it when people touch my things. But they knew that I don't like it when people touch my things. And now that I know I'm autistic, I was like, how did we not know at that moment? It took like a year or two later. And I felt bad. I was like, I don't know why I'm freaking out. She didn't break any of my things or anything. It was just all in the wrong spots, and she touched my stuff. And so everything was not where it was supposed to be. Nothing was where it was, and nothing was how I wanted to do it. Communication. Communication is how you would manage living with a partner. And now I'm okay if it's just like one thing, if like, oh, they used my pen and maybe they just left it on the counter instead of putting it back where they got it. But completely reorganizing a section of the house, no, not okay. Do not do that. Oh my God. I think it stemmed not only from my autism, but also when I was little, like ages 5 to 8, I would not keep my room clean. And so my mother every once in a while would go and clean my room. But every time after she would clean my room, there were a couple of things I couldn't find. And I didn't find out until years later when I was like 17. My mom's like, oh yeah, I threw some of your things away. It didn't seem like you were using them. And there was one time where I kept looking for this one specific thing for weeks. And I was like, wait. So when she told me that she actually threw stuff away, I was like, what about this thing? She's like, yeah, actually, that was one of the only things you really, really looked for. Otherwise, most of the stuff I threw away, you didn't look for. Why would you throw away some of my stuff? She thought I had too much stuff because I wasn't using it. But I was like, it was organized in my own way, even though it was a mess. Don't throw away your kid's stuff, even if their room is a mess. Like, come on, put it like, don't throw it away. You can like put it in storage. But there was a couple of things that I actually looked for. And so I think it was also trauma of losing stuff. But mostly because I don't like people touching my stuff. And there was a couple of times in school whenever I had downtime, I would organize something in the classroom because it was wrong. So I would fix it. Autism moment. Love it. The schedule? Yeah. I do have a little bit of a hard time with schedules, but it's more so about being on time. My mother was never on time. It would always make me so anxious. I was like, Mom, we're going to be late. I'm already ready. We need to go. But we would always be late. It would only ever be like 3 or 4 minutes, but I hated it because you're supposed to be 4 to 5 minutes early. That way you can get inside the event on time. Yeah. Parents would always micromanage. Oh, that'd be annoying. I hate being micromanaged. I've really liked living on my own. One of the things that I noticed that I was doing is I did make like a little mini pantry setup in my bedroom when I lived with my brother and my family because I had my own money, so I could buy my own food. And I liked knowing how much of what I had when. Exactly. And when I was buying myself snacks and just leaving them in the pantry, other people would eat it, even if I wrote my name on it. So I was keeping it in my room. I didn't beat Code Vein. I did I beat the first version of the last boss, but then he became a bigger last boss. So we got to do that. Yeah, people being late. I don't like being late. I don't like it when people are late to events for me, and I don't like being late for other people. There's one that he's kind of like a friend of a friend. He's always late. Like, I'm friendly with him, but like I don't know him that well, and he's just kind of like a part of the friend group of some other friends, and well, he's always late, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't even know he was coming, because it's not even like 10-15 minutes. It's like an hour. And I'm just like, oh Jesus. So he's really nice. He's really nice. He's a great person. Great friend, besides always being late. However, I don't think I would be friends with them if it weren't for him already being a part of the friend group, because I just have such an issue with lateness. It just feels disrespectful, because I do have time blindness as someone with ADHD, and that's why thank you for the follow, Dead Gamer. Thank you so much. I have time blindness with my ADHD, so I set alarms, 50 of them if I need. Thank you for the sip. Yeah, I had an issue with just living with my family and not having the things that I wanted in the right spots. And then at one point, I'm not sure if it was, a blink. Thank you. I do forget to do that. Where my brother made a joke about going into my room and taking my snacks. And I was just like, oh, okay. So my natural response was to get a lock for my door. And so I started treating my bedroom like an apartment and locking it when I left it. Because, no, don't touch my stuff. There's a mod. Yes, I do know that there's a mod that makes Hollow Knight multiplayer. I don't know if I would ever actually do it, but because we're in the middle of our third series of Hollow Knight, and I just need to finish it. A song request? I'm not doing song requests. This is just like a YouTube compilation playlist, and so it's gonna keep going on auto songs. I don't even know what songs are on it. Maybe I'll be able to do song requests in the future, but I don't want to do them right now, because what I do for stream is I let the YouTube video buffer, and then I put it on a loop. It's on a loop, so it's already buffered, and I don't want to lose it or anything. You still don't know how to Stardew Valley? Oh, that leads me into a really great question. Have a good breakfast, Cobra. Have good food. You need a kiss. Okay, you want to go buy kiss? You want to buy kiss? Mwah. Goodbye. Mwah. Have a good breakfast. Mwah, mwah. Stardew Valley. That's right. There was an update to Stardew Valley, and we're in the middle of our mega modded series. However, there's a lot of new stuff. And so I was thinking about putting up a poll in the Discord about starting a new Stardew without mods, not expanded or anything like that. It would be a new farm, a new save, in order to explore the update. I think I would still have UI info suite, just, that one is just a quality of life. It doesn't really change too much of the gameplay. It just lets me know about birthdays and things like that. But I was wondering, have you guys think about it if you wanted me to start a new series to explore all the new stuff with just the update, or if we should just continue with our mega modded expanded as usual. And then I'll have to try to see what I can figure out is from the update. I know a couple of new things about the update, but I don't know all of them. And I need to see if I can install the update for SAMP, which is the Stardew modder software, and I need to make sure that all the mods are good and working and good to go. I think a couple of people told me that I should do a new one, so I'll just put up a poll. At least play it a few times before deciding. Well, the thing about the new update is that I haven't played it yet. And I don't know if we want, one of the things I like about streaming as a streamer and as a viewer is getting to experience things with chat or with the streamer. And so, but Stardew is a big commitment. So there are new things about the update. So like they added a new farm, which is better for raising animals. And I've heard that instead of starting with parsnips, you start with hay because you also start with a coop with 2 chickens already on the farm. I am interested in the regardless of whether the answer is yes or no, I'm going to play Stardew with it updated anyway, because there was no way for me to continue the expanded series without updating the game, because it was like, oh, you can update the game in order to play it. So maybe I will play it on my own, and then we will continue the Stardew Valley expanded after I've experienced some of the update. I do need to update Stampy though. The Overlord. I do think this is an Overlord song. Let's see. Yep, it's an Overlord song. It doesn't tell me the title of the song though. It just has a picture of the anime and the title of what is it called? Oh, maybe that's the name of the song. Yeah, it's a season 1 intro. Yep, that's what we're going with. I'm not going to try to say the name. Water is delicious. It's a big hug. You could give me head pats. I do like hugs, IRL. Fun fact, you need 2 hugs a day in order to maintain your mental health. And ideally, you should get 3 or more because that makes it better. Yes, you see head pats. Yeah. I get head pats. You've watched the second SOA? Ooh. Yeah, I've watched Sword Art Online. I've watched the 2nd season. I've watched the movies. It's crazy. You have no one to hug? I have no one to hug IRL either. I mean, I guess I could ask Blue and Gihan for hugs, but they're busy right now. They're in the honeymoon phase. They just got married. For those of you who weren't here when I mentioned it earlier, Mumdy and Father are now officially married. Solo Leveling? I have read Solo Leveling, and I actually read it on webtoon before it was an anime, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch it. Maybe a pet? I do not have a pet. Unfortunately, where I live, there is an additional $50 put onto your rent if you have a pet. And I can't afford that. So I do not have a pet, unfortunately. I would like to have a cat, maybe a ferret. Probably not a ferret because I'm allergic. But the thing about pets is I'm allergic, so I would have to get a hypoallergenic pet, which is expensive, and I can't afford that. Yeah, virtual hugs. What song is this? I like this song. What is this from? Oh, this is from that one where the businessman gets reincarnated as a little girl and has magic powers and is in a war. I don't remember the name of it, but that's the plot. That's the plot. I think that might be the name of it. Oshi no Ko, maybe? It's really cool. I don't think I finished it. But I do like the music. For those in the future, watching the VOD, they don't hear the music because I have a audio splitter, so I don't get copywritten. So for all of those who are here now, congratulations, you get awesome music. And those in the future watching the VOD, sorry, you gotta come to the streams live. Teehee. I got like a warning. It wasn't like, I think it was like 3 strikes and then you get in trouble, but it was like, hey, this is copywritten. And I was like, oh, okay. So I looked into an audio splitter. I do like that anime. I've actually just started watching that anime, and I do like it. It's Freeren. I'm not gonna say it right, but I just started watching that actually. It's very good. What episode am I on? I don't know what episode I'm on. I watched at least 8 episodes. I've watched at least 8 episodes of it because it's good. It's really good anime. I think it's really well done. I really like the idea of following this elf in her adventure of retracing her steps. I mean, she has a specific goal, but she's retracing her steps. So we're meeting characters that technically she already met, and then we're getting flashbacks, and she's making new experiences with the characters that she's with in the now, but also like seeing what had happened before. And like the world building, I feel like is really, really good because like some things are like, oh, this is what people in public know, and then you get a flashback and like, this is what actually happened, and it's like, oh, that's a real thing, because what becomes common knowledge isn't necessarily the truth of the fact of the matter. And I think it's done really well. I think it's very good. Very excited. But the reason why I got into that anime is because I saw a scene of it on TikTok, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And it was it's a spoiler though if I say it, but it was so cool, and I really like it. You should totally watch it if you're gonna watch it, and it's so good. It's so cool. It's Freerin, I think, is an OP character done right. I think they did her. I think they did her really well. I love it. It's so good. You're at the end of it. Ooh, cool. I don't want to say anything specific about it because I don't know if anyone lurking or maybe in the future will watch the VOD. I don't want to spoil it for them. But such a good anime. I need to finish watching it because it's really, really, really good. Yeah, respect the not spoil of it. It's very, 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 very good. I highly recommend it. Venture anime. They're doing a little bit of adventure, and it's good. Strong characters written right, I feel like, because I feel like for everything there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, and I feel like with strong character. Oh, thank you for the hat patch. Thank you, Rabbit. I feel like writing strong characters, it's really easy to accidentally do it wrong. So I feel like this is a good example of writing strong characters. Oh, I'm low on water. I just took a sip of water and I'm like, huh? Very low, but good thing I have a giant backup container of water. So I can put more water into my cup and not have to get up, so I can keep streaming continuously because I'm a big brain streamer. We're just going to ignore the fact that most of the time I only have one brain cell and just say that I'm big brain. Exactly. Here we go. Water container. That's actually another... I don't just have that extra water container while I'm streaming. I have it all the time. Because that is an ADHD hack, I find. Because when you get really focused in something that you are working on, you don't want to get up. You don't want to get up to get food. You don't want to get up to get water. And in some cases, you don't want to get up to go to the bathroom. There have been times when I got to a stopping point and I took a breath. I was like, oh my God, I have to pee. And I had to like go to the bathroom because I just wasn't thinking about it. Ad jail. Oh no. I'm so sorry for everyone in ad jail. But, my gosh, having the supplies access to you right here in the moment is really, really, really good. Your work is targeting? Huh. You dyslexic. That's might need to. I don't really know anything about that, Mighty. So you would probably need to contact like a lawyer or something about that, or do some research into it, because I don't know much about anything about like workplaces targeting you due to disability. So unfortunately, I can't help with that. I don't have any advice. Yeah, talk to HR. Yeah, that's what you need to do. And make sure you have a paper trail. So if you have an in-person conversation, then follow it up with an email to that person. I was like, just wanted to like This is what we talked about. Looking forward to next steps. Like, bullet points. Make sure you have a paper trail. Yeah. You're gonna be jailed after everyone gets unjailed? Yeah. Yeah, so keep a paper trail. Any impersonal conversations you follow up with in email. That's the only tips that I know. Oh, a trifecta. Okay, drink some more water. And then I will stretch. Ugh. Wonder if I can pop my neck. No. Ah, I felt like almost. Maybe I can pop my fingers. Really? Nothing's popping right now. That's so weird. Speaking of water and bathroom breaks, though, I just sitting here thinking about it. I was just like, I actually do need to go to the bathroom, and that's one of the things that happens to me while I stream. I hyper focus on stream. I will be super fast, and I will be right back. I'll still be able to see chat because I'll have it on my phone. So don't think about revolting or anything like that. I got my eyes on you. Okay, I'm back. I tried to be super fast. I don't need breaks that are super long. I think I do take breaks when I need to take breaks, because I remember during my debut, my first stream ever, I streamed for 12 hours like a madman, because I am one. I did take proper breaks for getting food and stuff. So I do know how to take care of myself, but I get excited about streaming. Might buy a train instead of a house. Is the train going to be on tracks? So is it going to be a portable house? How long is my hair? How long is my hair? Well, my hair is long. You mean this hair? my IRL, my in real life hair is not as long as my model hair, sadly, but it is fairly long. It's past my shoulders. I actually want to dye it. I want to dye my IRL hair to be like my model hair with the pink and the white tips. You know? with the little pink fade to the white. I want to do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. However, that costs money, and I don't have money. Welcome back, Creative. We were talking about ADHD. That's what we... It's like a sellathon. Yeah, I was only originally planning to stream for 8 hours when I debuted, and then I got distracted streaming. It was a lot of fun. And once I got to the 12-hour point, I was like, I should probably go eat dinner because it was dinner time. I was like, oh my God, it had been 12 hours. I was like, well, maybe I should stop streaming. Even though I wanted to keep going, I was like, I need to stop myself and take a break for the debut. And so I had to stop myself. And then when I didn't have a job, during the time frame I didn't have a job but was streaming, I think I did average streams was 6 to 8 hours because I had all the time in the world and I didn't need to work, which was so nice. Oh, I wish I could go back to that, where I was just streaming. It was 6 to 8 hours every day, except for sometimes I only took 1 day off a week because I felt like that was all I needed. And other days I took 2 days off a week. But I was streaming like every day, 6 to 8 hours, and it was so nice. I was having so much fun. I was living the life. It was great. It was so nice. And then I started working part-time. I still streamed like every day, but I did take a regular of 2 days off or was it 1 day? Sometimes I only took 1 day off of streaming, but that was because I had 2 days off of work. But then the streams went down to like 2 to 4 hours because I did have work, and so I couldn't stream the whole day. And then I moved and got a full-time job, and now streams. I just need to focus on getting back on a consistent schedule, even if streams are only for about an hour long. Today, my work is starting late today, and so normally I would be walking out of the house. Well, out of the apartment. I would be walking to my car at this exact moment. But starting work later today because my schedule is different, and I didn't argue. I didn't mention it. I didn't say anything to my managers because they should know what the schedule is. They don't. But they're probably going to be wondering where Sylvia is because usually I'm scheduled to be there in half an hour. But today I'm not scheduled until 2 hours after I usually am. And wait, what? I just had my downstairs neighbor knock on their ceiling, my floor, and I wasn't even being that loud. I'm not even physically moving or anything. Am I being loud? Do you guys think I'm being loud? I don't think I'm being loud, honestly. That was weird. I just felt the knocking like beneath my foot. Okay. Maybe I'll try to make sure I'm not moving my chair too much. That hasn't happened to me before. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday in the middle of the day. Oh, maybe their kid's gonna go down for a nap or something. I don't know if they have kids, but I guess I'll try not to yell. But it's Wednesday in the middle of the day. It's not like midnight or something. That's one of the reasons why I've been reluctant to stream in the evening, because I'm not going to shout to spite them. I'm not going to be that type of person. I don't think I need to change anything I'm doing. Let's see. I just won't be super loud. One of the reasons why I've been reluctant to stream in the evenings is because I don't want to bother my neighbors, because I do share a wall, and well, my floor is someone's ceiling, and my right wall is my neighbor's wall as well. And so I've been reluctant to stream in the evening because I don't want to be a loud person. I don't want to be that person that's like, because I do get loud during some games, and I know that for a fact. And I don't want to bother them, but I feel like maybe they weren't knocking at me. Maybe they were just putting something on the ceiling. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a bug. No, it didn't feel like a bit. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And it's the middle of the day in the middle of the week, so we're fine. Usually I'm off on Wednesdays anyway, so I would be at my computer anyway. So I don't even know. I'm just going to drink water. Yeah, the voice silencer things, but I don't know if they have those to connect into a microphone. Like, could I get that and then connect it to my micro? I don't really feel like I need to do that because I don't feel like I'm ever overly loud. I feel like as long as it's during normal waking hours, it's fine. And I should be good. Like today, it's normal waking hours. It's the middle of the day and the middle of the week. I'm overthinking. They probably weren't knocking for me to be quiet. It didn't sound aggressive or anything like that. So I'm being oversensitive with my overthinking anxiety because that's the type of person I am. I overthink a lot. We were talking about ADHD hacks. So one of the hacks, because if someone with ADHD, we tend to hyper focus on things and we can forget to get ourselves food and water, especially if it's going to interrupt what we're focusing on. So you guys know I have an extra container of water that I keep at my desk. I keep that at my desk at all times. So when I fill up my normal cup, I fill up my big water container too. That way, if I'm hyper focusing on something, I still have water because I'm not going to get up and get myself more water. I can refill my cup while I'm here at my desk and doing the thing I'm working on. That's also why I have snacks over here. I have applesauce pouches, I have Cheez-Its, and if I want sugar, I have Skittles. So I got 4 different types of snacks. Sorry, I forgot that I have like these caramel, like chocolate chips. I have those, but they're caramel in case I want that. So there's that. Now, there isn't really a life hack for needing to go to the bathroom that I've discovered yet. But that is how I try to take care of myself as someone with ADHD. I try to set myself up for success. And I do the same thing when I'm going to bed. I have a water bottle that's designated for my bedroom. So that way, if I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, oh, but the bed's so cozy, there's a water bottle right there. I don't even have to get out of bed to drink the water. Yes, and thankfully, chat has redeems to remind me to drink water. Remember, chat, streamers are Tamagotchis. If you don't remind us to drink water, we might die because we probably won't forget. Speaking of, I'll take a sip. There we go. And so I try to make sure that I have everything I could need at my desk so I don't have to get up because I probably won't get up if I'm focused on something. And that's one of my other ADHD hacks, along with having inside shoes for doing chores, because it's just so much easier when you put on sneakers. I also listen to music, of course. What type of person with ADHD doesn't listen to music? So I put on my inside sneakers and then I will clean and stuff. Wait, Sylvia, what am I waiting for? Are we gonna crash? We're waiting. I don't know what other ADHD. Yes, I did. I got very upset. They didn't reorganize my room. They reorganized my bathroom, and it was a single drawer and like 5 things that I had on the counter on my side, because I shared a bathroom with my brother at the time because I was, living with my family, and so we had a shared bathroom. And my mother got me the organization containers that I wanted. Now, I like the rotating one that she got me. I actually still have it and I still use it, but I don't use it for my bathroom anymore. And she didn't get me the type of containers I wanted for the drawer, but they still worked. But she reorganized it. She reorganized my bathroom while I wasn't at home, and I had a little bit of an autistic meltdown. Just a tiny one. Actually, if I think about it, it was one of the biggest ones that I had, but it really messed with me. And then my mother was like, oh, my mother was like, why are you being so ungrateful? I did the thing you wanted and I did it for you. You can just move it if you don't like where the things are. And I don't like, don't reorganize my stuff for me. I didn't know. None of us knew at the time that I was autistic. I found that out after graduating high school, unfortunately, but figured out eventually. Yeah, reorganize. Yeah. I was also uncomfortable for the rest of the day and even into the next day, even after I fixed it. Just the idea that it was absolutely wrong. It messed with me a little bit, but it was my stuff. So, like, my mother never goes into our bathroom for any reason. So she took things that were in the drawers and put them in the organizer that she got for the counter. And I don't know why she did that, because I had them in the drawer because I wanted them in the drawer. But regardless, I fixed it. Everything's fine. I live alone. No one touches my stuff anymore. It's great. I feel comfortable having my friends over to my place, even if they like pick something up to look at it. They don't like reorganize a drawer completely or anything like that. I'm fine with people touching my stuff. Just don't reorganize anything. Just don't reorganize, please. A story? I already know I have ADHD because of, I do believe that diagnosing is valid to a certain extent. I have done research for quite a few years now. It's been a couple of years, and so, but now I'm getting official diagnosis, and I actually have an appointment to get officially diagnosed for ADHD coming up, and then I have one for autism as well. I just, some people don't take me as seriously when they're like, oh, where did you get diagnosed? And I'm like, oh, I'm self-diagnosed. And they're like, yeah, sure. I do feel like it's valid because getting a diagnosis is really difficult. It's difficult. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money, and finding someone who's going to do it for you. Like the place I'm going to for my ADHD, they don't do autism. So I need to find a different person for autism. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, and so it's actually not uncommon. I'm in some autism ADHD communities where it's a really common thing for us to do a lot of research and think that we have it and all that and be like, okay, now I'll officially get it. And then we realize it takes so much time to get the official one, and then we're just self-diagnosis for a while. So that is what happens. You know, honestly, Mighty, I totally get that. I totally get not wanting people to touch your stuff when you don't think they're clean. That I get a similar way. It's one of the reasons why I like people taking their shoes off when they come into my apartment. Because I'm like, your shoes are dirty. I don't know where your shoes have stepped in. Please take them off at the door. I have a little shoe rack. I have two welcome mats. I have one outside, brush your feet off, and you come inside and you brush your feet off again. And then please take your shoes off because it's dirty and I don't want it to be dirty. For something you probably don't. Yeah. Honestly, it'll be, if they say that I have something that's like, maybe they might say I have ADD instead of ADHD. And that would be fine. Because they're the doctor. But you know, I feel like I've gotten pretty close for it, but you know what? We're gonna see. It's next week. It's been a long time coming. I've been trying to get this appointment since December of last year, and I'm finally getting it and doing it, and I feel like in comparison to other people's stories that I've heard online about them trying to get their diagnosis, mine is going a lot quicker. I actually thought it was going to take longer based on it, but you know, it's fine. That, I don't know about throwing something away when someone touches it, Mighty, but I definitely would clean sometimes I do want to clean. Oh, yes, I like hearing stories about people's void. I'm sorry, I thought I answered. I must have accidentally read another comment and not realized that I didn't answer. I'm sorry. I need to find a different group to get my autism since they only do ADHD. When I was making the appointment, I was hoping that I could do it through the same place, but you know, they can't make it easy for us. What? Make it easy for the neurodivergent people to actually excel in life? Absolutely not. One of the things that I find really annoying is that people don't really take it seriously. And I saw this again on TikTok because I'm in the communities where someone was saying where if they said that they were having a migraine instead of sensory overload due to their autism, people would take it more seriously. And where if they said it was sensory overload, people would like question them, and they only took them seriously if they said it was like a migraine. Even if they like explained the same exact symptoms, people would just, you know, actually try to help them. And I think that's sad. But it's the real factor. People don't get it, and they think we're just trying to be oh so special. And no, my brain literally is wired differently, and I need different things. Honestly, the neurotypical people are the weird ones. They say things that they don't mean. Why do we have to talk in code? Why are you talking in code? Just say what you mean. But, I just got to deal with it because whatever. People are weird. What's really annoying is when I say something that I mean, like straight up, like no hidden context or anything. And then later they're like, oh, well, you said this. And I'm like, that is not what I said. I said this. They're like, yeah, but you meant this. I'm like, no, I said what I meant. Which I think that's the most frustrating thing, where neurotypical people will assume that you're also neurotypical and have hidden meaning in your words, and you just actually straight up mean what you say. I don't know what the ones and zeros mean. It looks like the computer talk. The computer talk. I do like explaining how my brain works to people, but a lot of neurotypicals don't want to hear it. A lot of neurotypicals don't want to hear it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Most of the time when I get to talk about stuff, it's with other people who are a little bit neurospicy. They need time to process the words. Yeah. I say exactly like what I mean. And I would prefer other people do that. And I have an example of this from yesterday. Someone wanted me to organize something. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? They're like, take all of the electronics out and count them, because we were doing an inventory count. And I was like, okay, so I'll get all the chargers. And they're like, well, not just the chargers, also the lighters. I'm like, okay. And they're like, anything that's not a candy. And I'm like, so the lint rollers too? They're like, yes. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad you said that. And I told them in that moment, because otherwise I would have just done the actual physical electronics, like the chargers, because you said electronics. They're like, but that doesn't make sense. I'm like, you said electronics and I'm autistic. And they're like, oh. And I'm like, yes, you have to actually say what you mean instead of just assuming I'm going to understand what you mean. So they wanted me to count together the chargers, the lighters, the lint rollers, anything that wasn't something edible. But not all the things that were not edible were electronic, because lint rollers are not electronic. And we also have like these little drawing pads that kids can buy. They're like paper and pen, not electronic. So I'm glad that I was able to get that explained to me before I started the task, and then did it wrong. And then they would try to make it my fault, even though it would have been their fault for not communicating. Got a spicy subscription on life? Exactly. I always have to ask questions, and I feel like sometimes people get annoyed, because there's been a couple of times where I had to ask several questions within like a 2-minute span, and they were getting annoyed, and I was just like, okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was understanding correctly. And I feel like I have to remind people that I'm autistic, because I feel like I mask well. Woo! Is that Andy? Nightwing? It's the Andy man. Hi, Andy. Hello. I hope you're doing good. We're talking about people not being clear with what they say and how that affects people with autism. And I have to remind people that I'm autistic, because I'm very high masking. I can mask very, very well, and I feel like I'm pretty good. I'm okay at understanding the hidden meanings, if it's a common phrase. But I still have trouble, and so there's been times when I had to ask someone like 3 or 4 clarifying questions, and they were getting visibly annoyed. I was like, okay, thanks for clarifying me. I just wanted to make sure I understood because I was autistic. And I mentioned something about being autistic, and they're like, oh yeah, that's right. And they like got slightly less annoyed, but you could still tell that they were annoyed that they had to deal with it. But I'm just like, I just want to make sure I'm not going to do it wrong, because I've done things not the way that people wanted me to do, but I did it the way that they told me to. because I didn't understand the subtext behind it, because I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it. I have to ask questions so often, it seems. And I've accidentally annoyed someone before by being explicitly clear in my instructions. They're like, yeah, I know, you can just say to clean this area. And I'm like, well, you don't have to clean the whole area, just this, this, and this. And they're like, yeah, I get it. And I'm like, okay. Well, as an autistic person, I would need someone to clarify that for me. So if someone says clean an area, I'm going to clean everything, top to bottom, unless you tell me to expect. Because, like, they didn't need to, like, mop the floor or anything. But if someone told me to, like, clean the service desk, to me, that is the computers, the keyboards, the counters, the shelves, the floor, the cabinets. And they might have just meant the counters and sweeping. But if you give me too vague of instructions, I'm going to overthink and do everything that I can. Like, seriously. Oh, I have an example of this. I was told to mop the self-checkout area. And my manager, like, gestured to... We have two self-checkout areas. We have, like, this little grouped up area where it's, like, mini self-checkouts. And then we have this other area where they have belted self-checkouts for people with really big carts. You can put your stuff on the belt, and it makes it easier for you to check out. And so I did the grouped up for the smaller self-checkouts. I mopped that area. Good. I go to mop the belts. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like... I'm going to finish mopping now. She's like, you only needed to do that other area. I was like, you said to mop the self-checkout. She's like, yeah, just that area. But she didn't say that. Apparently, I didn't need to do the belted ones because she did them the night before, but she didn't tell me. So I had already done one and I was moving on to the second one. And there's three of them total. And she's like, I did that last night. I was like, you said to mop the self-checkout. So I was doing all the self-checkout area. Apparently, by her gesturing to just the smaller area, she meant just the smaller area. But that's not what she said. Anyway, be clear when you're talking to people who are a little bit neurospicy, please. I'm just like, okay. I don't know why she knows because she's my manager. But I feel like they forget. I'm too good at masking sometimes, and I guess I just need to stop. But I also can't stop because I work in retail. Which is yep. But, you know, I don't know. One of the reasons why I'm getting an official diagnosis, even though I do believe that educated self-diagnosis is valid, because I've researched this stuff for over 2 years, and I want to get an official one so I could submit it to my work, and maybe I can actually get some accommodations, because I feel like I struggle sometimes, and honestly, I'm not sure what all I need, and so I'm gonna, talk to the official people and see what I can legally get to help me succeed in life. I try to be detailed, but people are just too vague. Yeah, they should adapt to me because, people who raise their voice around me, anxiety, 0 to 100 right away. There was one time I'm helping a customer, and my manager is helping a different customer. The different customer has to call some company on their phone, and they start yelling. They have it on speaker. They start yelling at the robot on their phone. It's not even a real person. They are raising their voice and are yelling at the robot, and I'm sitting there helping another customer, and I'm like, please stop, please stop, please stop, because just being around someone who is angry like that makes my entire body tense up, and I'm just like, please stop. Of course, I didn't say anything, but yeah. You're gonna hop in the car. All right, I will have a good stream. You have a fantastic day. Bye, Andy. I would love to focus on streaming, but I definitely need to put more work into it. But it's really hard because I don't have a lot of time to put work into it. But I want to get there. Honestly, I just need to get away from working with the public, because when I answered in person, because I can work with the public, but when I answered phones, that was a lot better, because if they got rude to me, I could just hang up on them. But when I was talking with that really rude guy in person, I'm just like, I can't even walk away because the exit to my service desk would walk past him. And I'm like, there's only one way of exit. And that makes me uncomfortable. because there's no way to remove myself from the situation safely if it does become dangerous. So I don't like that. I need to try to focus more on streaming and less on my instant gratification monkey brain of playing video games right when I get home instead. So I need to focus more on making streaming content to try to grow, because I would love to be able to stream as my job. Do I do any artwork? Not in the sense that you would think. So I don't draw and I don't paint, but I love to write and create. So one of the things I'm actually working on a little bit behind the scenes, on and off, is writing the lore for the world that I come from for stream, teehee. And I'm gonna do a big lore reveal when my 2D model, when we have the 2D model debut. So what it's gonna have is the map of the world. I actually have a couple different versions of the map, and I'm actually redoing the map right now because it didn't look as good as I thought it could be. So I'm actually recoloring it to make it look better. I have races written out for the world. I think there's 7 of them, written with like everything that you would need to know factually for the race. I have a magic system that I've rewritten twice, and I think it's good. I think it's good. I do consider writing art, but I don't know if you would consider it artwork. I have the gods written up for the world. I've started writing the history of the world, mostly regarding the gods. I've started a calendar for the world to keep track of all the events of the world that happens in the world. I haven't written any religions yet, but I did a bunch of research and I set up a template, because obviously my world is going to need multiple religions because there are multiple races and multiple gods. So there's going to need to be many religions. Some of them will be kind of true. Most of them are going to be mostly wrong, because I mean, I don't know how active. I haven't decided if my gods are going to be super active in the world, because if they are super active in the world, then the religions are going to be more accurate. But if they're not and they're hands off, then the religions are going to be more up to the mortals' interpretations, and they may not be entirely accurate. And so I haven't written the religions yet, but I did a lot of research for the templates. I have written up the details for the afterlife of the world. That took a bit of time. I have written some unique creatures for the world, but I haven't finished all of them. I actually have a couple of story ideas for important people of the world, like, you know, maybe some kings and stuff. Like, I have some story ideas in my head that I haven't actually written out yet, but some of them are like kind of half written, but not exactly written. And so I'm working on that behind the scenes, but it's not something I can really show you guys until it's done, because I want to show you it in its complete form. Because if I try to show you beforehand, then I'm going to have to revise stuff, like the world maps. Right now, they're kind of blah. They're flat colors and they're blah. I'm reworking on them right now to make them interesting. And I've reworked the magic system twice. So I want it to be nice and done and complete. And then when I have the 2D model debut, I'm going to do a giant lore drop, and it's going to be awesome. Yeah. ASMR? It's going to be to discuss. I'm actually one of the type of people who I don't like ASMR. ASMR kind of like prickles my brain, and I don't like it. The only type of, because like I don't like it when people do the brushes or any of the sounds against the microphone. I hate that so much. It makes me go makes my brain go blah. Because I know some people will consider whispering into the microphone ASMR. I don't necessarily like whispering, but I do like it when people do soft voices. I actually need to reformat the lore on my website. Commissioning stories to read. With you, wait. Do you think it'd be possible to discuss with you commissioning stories to read? Stories to read? You want to pay me to write you stories for you to read? That would be cool. I've never actually finished a story before, but I do really like writing. And I feel like if I actually have an end goal to it, I would love to make money off of my writing. I would love that. I would love that so much. I have some writing examples. I actually do have some writing examples I have of myself because I would write a lot. I have some in first person and I have some in third person. You like my writing style? Aww. I actually want to rewrite because I've tweaked it a little bit with writing out the lore of my world. The lore on my webpage is not 100% accurate anymore. It's mostly accurate, but I do need to rewrite it. I haven't updated it yet. Maybe I should put a note on it. Maybe I should put a note like this is gonna change because I write stuff. Music teacher whispering. Oh, gross. I'm so sorry you had to deal with that, Robo. A story project. I really like writing stories, and I actually got to share some of the stories that I had written with Tonito, actually, because he was visiting for the wedding, and I was like, oh well, because he's albino, he has a hard time reading and seeing, so I was like, oh, I'll read it to you, and he really liked it, and I was just like, awesome. And so I do want to write more, and I would love to make money off of my writing. I actually have written short stories before. I just realized I forgot. There is short stories that I have written before to completion. But I don't remember, but I wrote them for school. But I feel like they were still pretty good. You like my game reviews? Aw, thank you. I actually need to add more game reviews. I haven't updated my blog in a while. I haven't been making it a priority, unfortunately. I need to make a list. I need to make a list, reprioritize, and then I'm going to make myself make like a little schedule so I can try to be more consistent with updating my website, because I do want to add more stuff to it. I've been coming up with ideas for more audios, because those are fun. I really like making the audios where it's like the POV audios. I don't know if you would consider that ASMR, because I really like the acting part of it. I really like the editing part of it. And I really like the creative writing part of it. So I think I like that. I need to make more audios because I only have a couple of them. And I feel like I should do more. Yeah. I thought game reviews would be fun because, that's what I do. I stream games. I mean, not right now, but like you get my thoughts on the games, and I've even rated them. And you can make your own website really easy. I'm just using Google Website. I'm just using the Google Website Builder tool. It's completely free. However, I did buy the domain, the sylviavt.com. I've bought that. So the domain I have bought. So I don't think you get something I don't think you get a great website URL if you just do the Google default make it, but you can link your if you buy one, and I think it's only $10 for a year. Or at least that's what I'm paying for mine. $10 a year for just the URL. And I've linked it to the Google Websites one. And so the Google Websites, when I build it built that website for me. And it was really easy and straightforward. Now, it isn't as fancy as I would love it to be, but Google Website Builder, it's free. So it's great. I would love to be able to purchase a website builder. Where did I do that? Where did I buy the URL? Let me double check. Hang on. It's called, but let's see. It's a domain. Okay, so let me see. Let's see. Let me / Oh, if that's a link, I have links. Only mods can do links just for safety reasons, to keep you guys safe in case like a bot or something. Ugh, stinky bots. We don't want the bots to come in and doing bad links and then have someone accidentally click on it, because that would be bad. So only mods can do links. It's just for your guys' safety. All right. I'm gonna say this, and you guys need to not make fun of me, because I didn't name the domain buyer. Now I'm gonna double check before. Let me just double check this before. Make sure I'm saying the right thing. Hang on. I can't remember. I'm trying to check my emails, because I have a couple of different emails. I have a couple of different emails. I believe the, hang on. Let me just visit the site. Let me see if it looks how I remember it. I believe the domain buyer I used was, okay, GoDaddy.com. Yep. That is what I believe that I used. I did not pick that name, so I don't, okay. It is a well-known one, to be honest. I don't know why it's called that. It makes no sense to me, but you know what? That's what it's called. I don't know. But it's only like $10, so for a year. So very, very cool. I need to re-go through all my subscriptions and like that and make sure everything is all good, all set, because I do like what I like to do. This is one of the life hacks that I like to do. Life hack. Whenever your credit and debit cards need to be renewed, cancel them and order a new one. Whenever you just renew your credit debit card, it will still have all your previous subscriptions on it. Now, what I like to do as someone with ADHD who forgets about things, you cancel them and order completely new ones. Specifically, ask the bank to not have it roll over with your previous subscriptions, because you might have hidden subscriptions that you've forgotten about. And if it's something that you regularly, if you use it all the time, then obviously it's gonna be like, hey, your subscription payment issue, and then you can just redo it. You'll just redo it. It'll let you know that it's had a payment issue. And then you're only paying for the stuff that you do use. And then when it goes to expire again, you just get completely new cards. That's what I do to not have my money disappearing into things I don't know what. Because you're gonna forget about some subscriptions, I feel like. And that's just one way that I like to do it. And so I'll actually be doing that here within this next year, because mine might expire next year. So I'll be doing it sometime this year. Yeah. Yeah, don't pay for stuff you don't use. Cancel your cards and get new ones. You can just say that they got stolen. The bank doesn't have to know that you're cheating the system. Just say you lost your wallet. What are you gonna use a website for? Oh yeah, websites are really, 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 really cool. Let's see. What do I got on my website? Let's go to my website. I feel like I need to update. So here, let me just here, I could do a thing. Hang on. I'll do a thing. All right, so here we are on my website. So I have this is the homepage. This is the first thing that you see when you get to the homepage is the Sylvia VT. I have announcements on the front page. I need to update this. It's been a while since I've updated this. Now, usually when I have my stream schedule, I would have it. Oh wait, can you guys not see my mouse? Why can you not see my mouse? Oh, there it is. Usually I would have my stream schedule over here. I don't have a stream schedule at the moment because of issues. I do, in case someone's just like, oh, I've heard about this Sylvia girl, but I don't really know what she's about. On my front page, I have my channel trailer. On an adventure. I'm gonna break into people's houses and steal all their shit. So if you ever want to see my raid trailer, it is on the homepage of my website. I love my raid trailer. Sometimes I watch it just to hype myself up before streams.
We can make them gay. We can make them gay.
Yep. That is also in the raid trailer. I love it. I love it so much. So you can watch that whenever. Sometimes I watch it before stream to hype myself up because I'm like, yeah, this is me. This is the content I do. And I didn't even try. And then I have a couple of links to say like Discord, Twitter, TikTok. I have 2 different YouTubes. For those of you who don't know, I have one YouTube that has all of my VODs. That's this bottom one. Unedited VODs. Now, some of them might like end abruptly because there were some streams where I had 2 different games and I just cut them in half so they could be on playlists for that specific game. And I have a second YouTube where it's non-VOD stuff. So like audios and whatnot. And then I have these little clicks where it will take you to different parts of the website. And then I have a throw in PayPal and then information about contacting me, and that's at the very bottom because I feel like that's where it always is on websites. The contact information is always at the bottom. And then I have an art and fan art page. So this is where I put all the art that I've gotten from people. And I also, it's really tiny. I wish it wasn't this tiny, but at the very bottom here, it has the name of the person who made it. I don't know how to make it bigger, but the name changes when you hit the rotate. This is the most recent little piece of artwork I got. I got this from ESO because it's so cute. And this is actually what I use as my PNG now. This one is from Bam It's Evil. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, this is the first piece of fan art I ever got. And it's with my original dress with the little green top, and they even added my little tail. And I love it so much. And this one is by Nep Nep. We got because Nep Nep has, for those of you who know Nep Nep has a BEP, and he drew everyone in our friend group BEPs, as PNGs. So I also have that one. And then I also have this piece of artwork where someone made me a skin in Minecraft. So it's also featured here because it's art. So I feel like it deserves to be featured. I do plan to have another section. A second section for commissioned artwork that will be slightly different. So everything that will be done by Blue will be in like a separate section from that, because this is like a little rotator thing, and I'll have a different section that will be below this. And then I have audios that I've done. This is the first audio I've ever done. If you notice, it has a very plain background, not animated at all. The text isn't really that fancy. This was just me trying it out. But then all the other ones have like animated backgrounds because I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. And so I actually made it a little bit better. I only have 4, but I should do more. And then I do have the blog, December of last year. So I need to update that. Lore. Yes, there is a lore page. I'm just doing it in order real quick. And then over here, I'm also plugging in the Discord again, with all the games that I've not necessarily that I played on stream, because I have Beat Saber on here, but I haven't played that on stream yet. But and Attack on Titan 2, I don't think I played that on stream either. And then I have a little bit of a star rating for them as well. Yeah, this one has 4, even though it's such a tough game. I put my favorite game at the very top, because I'm biased. Voice dramas, yes. Voice acting, I feel like would be so much fun. Undertale and Gris, my 2 favorite games, are at the very top. Gris is my favorite game. And then Undertale is like my second favorite game. And then we did Cult of the Lamb. We also did Undertale on stream. But yeah, my little game reviews. And then we have the lore page. I feel like I could do this better. I don't really love how it is formatted here, so I'm definitely gonna look at that and try to make it a little bit better. And yeah, so that I'm gonna try to work on that, make it better. There we go. Just close that up. But yeah, I want to do that. The consistent color scheme, yes, that is. If you can't tell, it's based off of my stream colors, because I actually color picked the stuff from my my stream stuff. Yeah, I want it to be consistent. What I thought would be a good idea was to, make it like my brand. I want it to be recognizable. People see the colors and be like, oh yeah, that's Sylvia. And yeah. I try to be a big brain. I try to be big brain, you guys. And also, if it's nice and consistent, it's more uniform, it's easier on the eyes, it's easier for the brain to process. It's just nice. It's just nice. What should you have for breakfast? Eggs. Eggs and pancakes. Bacon pancakes. So you cook bacon, you chop them in little bits, you make the pancake mix, you put the bacon bits into the pancake mix, and then you cook the pancakes like normal. Teehee. Making bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes, making pancakes, making bacon pancakes, bacon pancakes. That's from Adventure Time. And that's actually, I know in Adventure Time they do full pieces of bacon, but I wanted to make myself bacon pancakes. And I thought I wanted the bacon to be evenly distributed. So, distributed. I don't know why I added an extra did at the end. So I chopped them into little bits, kind of like chocolate chips. But yeah. And so that's how I made myself bacon pancakes. Yeah, a few specific... yeah. I really like creating things. So while I might not make artwork in the traditional sense of painting or drawing or anything like that, I do love writing, and I consider books to be art. I love writing and creating worlds and things like that. And I want to do more audios because I think they're fun. I've been contemplating singing. Because as I've been streaming, and then after I moved out and been streaming and making good relationship with friends, my self-confidence has gone up, and I've been contemplating making a singing thing. The first one is going to be just a cover of an already existing song, but I been dabbling writing my own lyrics. It's not as easy as it seems. The hard part would be getting the music part of it, but I want to do some singing. So yeah, I think it would be fun to do some singing classes. I don't have that in the budget for now, but what I've learned is that my singing voice is not as high as I thought it should be, because I did a recording. It didn't make it because it wasn't that great. But what I've learned is that when I try to go too high, it actually hurts and it doesn't sound right. And so my vocal range is a little bit lower and on the softer side, I think. I can hit high notes, but I do think throughout a song it's gonna be lower, not super high. But yeah, that's something I want to do, and I want to work on that. I don't think it's necessarily lower than what most female vocals would do. I don't know, maybe it is, because what I found myself is that I found a song I wanted to sing, and I started singing it, and I was trying to match the tone, the pitches that they were doing, and then I realized, man, it doesn't sound right for my voice, and it doesn't feel right for my throat, if that makes any sense. And I was like, okay, I'll try it slightly differently, and I kept trying it slightly less, and I was like, okay, I'm just lower than a lot of the songs that I'm trying to sing, so maybe it is. Maybe I'm just lower than average than most women. But, that's fine. I can hit those notes. It just doesn't sound quite right. And that's fine. Writes her stuff around that? Yeah, I think that's just what I need to do. There are some songs I've actually saved a couple of songs to a private playlist. I was like, oh, you should sing these songs and record it. And I'm like, teehee, maybe. And yeah, that's something I want to do. I think it would be a lot of fun. I want to get more into the online creator side of things. And while it's not necessarily going to be drawing, it's still creative work. And I think it would be a lot of fun. And I think it would be great to write not just songs, but stories and lore. And one of the things I want to do is I want to write out my lore, and then I want to write out some fake lore, adoptive lore, if you will, because people have like adopt models, and I want to sell writing lore. Yeah, okay, that doesn't really make sense. So basically, when you buy a 2D model, you're buying the art and the rigging. Now, not everyone likes to write or can word things the way that they want it to word, and so they would tell me, this is how I imagined it would go. They would tell me the key points, and I would talk to them about it, and I would send them some information that I need for writing it, and then I would write it out in like novel format, and then they would buy that to do with what they wanted. I don't know. I don't know if it would actually sell, but I think it would. It's something that I want to do. Karaoke segments? Yeah. Sell someone a story, not the model. And I actually wrote up a template of information that I would need from someone. Let me see if I can find it, because it's kind of hidden, I think. I can't even remember where I put it. It was on... Oh gosh, I'll have to find it later, because I use several different writing softwares, and I'm just gonna have to all conglomerate it into one if I want to stay consistent with my writing. I'll find it eventually later, but I made a template of like what information I would need from someone to write them a story. Yeah, they might run with the story. And that's fine, creative liberties and all that. But if they develop it further, that's great. I would love to be a stepping stone for someone to get more into writing and whatnot. And that's completely fine. Obviously, if someone is going to pay me to write something, then I'm going to reserve the right to post the piece myself as well, because I did write it. And obviously, they would have to pay me. Yeah. Exactly. So it's totally fine. I actually fully expect if someone were to commission Tiki writing from me, once I am ready for that, I would actually want them to expand it further and to grow it, because I feel like that's what you need to do with art. Because like when you buy a 2D model, you don't just buy it to look pretty. You buy it to use it and give it life. And okay, that's different. But I feel like it's similar but different. It makes sense in my head. I don't know. I'm way better at writing stories than I am articulating my words verbally. I promise. I'm gonna have to make like I'm not ready to do anything like that yet. I'll make a separate like a commissions page or something on my website, and yeah. That's what I'll do. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to doing stuff like that. I'm gonna do my best to grow as a creator and do more stuff, and maybe one day I will not have to leave the house to work, teehee, and just use my computer. Just use my computer doing things that I love to do. Who knows? I do think I am gonna start wrapping up a little bit, because I've decided to be an adult. I'm gonna put my laundry away. And I gotta leave for work in an hour, so I'm gonna need some time to do that. Alright, so we're gonna get ready to raid out here. It was very fun to chat. My work also starts later tomorrow. only by 1 hour instead of 2 hours like it did today. But so maybe I'll be able to stream tomorrow because I am planning on doing a couple of background stuff for stream. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing that tonight or tomorrow. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Let's get the raid started. Luckily, one of my friends is in fact streaming, so that's very nice indeed. Did I do that? Okay, I did the right thing. Instead of giving him a shout out, I actually started the raid, unlike yesterday. So if you're not in the Discord, you should join the Discord because we got awesome people, awesome information, just, you know, awesome everything in general. And then here is our follower raid message and our sub raid message. So make sure you copy and paste one of those so you can help spread the love. And thank you guys so much for coming to the stream today. Whether you lurked, chatted, or hey, maybe you even did a little bit of both, you silly little goofy goobers. Goofy goobers. Thank you all so much for all your love and support. Every time I stream without saying that I'm going to stream beforehand, and you guys show up, I'm amazed. I'm like, wow, you guys are actually here. You guys are amazing. And I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Oh, thank you for the hairpets. Thank yous. Oh, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I can't wait until I get to see you all next time. Bye-byes. Mwah.